Being with the original Ghostbusters was really, special.
The new Ghostbusters is here, paving a future for the franchise while using the classics, from the actors all the way to the gadgets.
Very much worth it. It looks so good on screen.
The iconic ecto goggles from the original Ghostbusters make an appearance in the Afterlife film as well. They look just incredible, but for Logan Kim, it was very inconvenient since he couldn't actually see with the goggles on.
So when he was acting, we had to look a little left, otherwise he just didn't even know where to look.
Luckily, the actor made it out totally unharmed. But we can imagine if there's a sequel, he'll be requesting a functional pair of goggles. It's been a few years since Bill Murray sported the classic Proton pack, and it wasn't quite like it used to be. Murray really suffered, feeling a lot of pain wearing the pack because of how uncomfortable it was.
They're very heavy.
For distant and stunt shots, the actors got to wear a lighter version of the packs, but for any close-ups, it was the real 30-pound deal.
Like half the weight in what they were in 1984.
The pack was fully equipped with rumble motors and batteries, so those blasters could jolt and shake in the actors' hands. Driving the Ecto-1 was a major throwback to the original, and no doubt a very special experience for Finn Wolfhard, but unfortunately, the actor didn't get the chance to fully get behind the wheel. He tried to get his license, but
Twice I failed.
Wolfhard did get to be in control of the car as it moved just a few mere inches, but it was still amazing for the actor. A stunt driver took the reins for the movie, controlling the accelerator and brakes of the totally souped-up vehicle. Making this movie was a multi-year commitment. A year before they even went to camera, the team got into some gardening.
I was in the car, and it's a real wheat field that they planted a year before. So that we could just rip through it.
The house used in the movie was fully real, inside and out, and this was where so many of the scenes were filmed. Not a corner was cut here, making this movie a full-time job. Ghostbusters Afterlife has the best of both worlds. The original cast we know and love, and new actors embodying the next generation.
It was amazing.
It was really special.
Yeah, it didn't really feel real, but it was incredibly special.
For the newbies, being amid all that history was definitely something special.
It was like a bunch of brothers coming back together. It was really sweet.
This new story has revitalized a nostalgic franchise brilliantly.
It's a fresh take on it all.
While the new cast members no doubt felt a ton of pressure, they definitely rose to the challenge.
A lot of it is practical.
Step aside CGI, Ghostbusters are in town and they like to keep it retro. Honoring the original movies, the team relied on good old-fashioned filming techniques.
Like puppets and animatronics.
Wires, magnets, illusions. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. A surprisingly vital tool used throughout the movie was wind. And since they were kicking it old school, the team had a lot of supplies.
We had a truck that was only fans.
While a major emphasis was put on practical creations, CGI did become key in bringing one very special and pretty major element to the movie. One of the most impressive characters we see in Afterlife is the legendary Terror Dog. And wanting to stay true to the roots of the film, the creature was brought to life by a mix of practical and special effects.
The only thing cooler than watching it on screen is actually being on set and watching the Terror Dog come to life.
The Terror Dog was a specially built puppet operated by one of the best puppeteers in the world. This added to the experience and really made the world of the movie come to life. Being the son of the creator of such a legendary franchise leaves some pretty big shoes to fill. But luckily, Jason Reitman had the best right-hand man he could ask for, Ivan Reitman.
Such a family legacy.
His dad was literally right beside him the whole time, giving the director a very special experience. Though sometimes he could feel a bit overwhelmed by his dad's presence in a professional setting. But at the end of the day, it was a fascinating and extremely memorable experience as both a filmmaker and son.
It is really a gift that I got to make this movie with him.
It wouldn't be Ghostbusters without ghosts, but this time we've got Muncher, and his casting was totally spontaneous. But it was a perfect match since the actor just happened to be a major Ghostbusters fan. So how did this serendipitous casting come about?
Josh and I ran into each other on the Sony lot.
Director Jason Reitman asked if Josh Gad was interested in voicing the ghost and was delighted when the actor immediately said yes and went straight into the studio to record. All the gadgets we see in the film were made to be as close as possible to the original ones. As for their references, the real props.
We were able to get our hands on the 84 props.
The team got to take LiDAR scans of all those pieces from the 1984 movie, allowing them to make perfectly accurate replicas to use.
We wanted the whole film to be original recipe Ghostbusters.
The car was put together with parts found from around the world. McKenna Grace even got to wear the same glasses frames that Harold Ramis wore in the original movie.
I was just having a great time, like just flying back and forth.
While the young actors did have stunt doubles, much of the time, the performers just dove straight into their roles.
I got to do some stunts.
The actress had never done stunts this intense before, but she bravely dove into wire work and actually flew across the field. Protected, of course, and landing safely on a cushiony pad.
Honestly, it really was just like pure excitement.
Logan Kim had quite the unique experience on set. We're not at all surprised that this was his favorite scene to film.
I got to be covered in marshmallow, which was not really marshmallow.
As for Paul Rudd,
the whole thing really was fun, but boy, going into that store and shooting a scene.
Nothing could beat the scene in the mall featuring the one and only marshmallows and, of course, the terror dog.
He hired a bagpiper to follow him around.
Yes. That quote actually has something to do with the Ghostbusters Afterlife film. When Bill Murray's birthday came around, he showed up to set accompanied by an actual bagpiper. But here's the catch. The actor pretended as if the musician wasn't there at all. If that wasn't wild enough,
He was singing some Scottish or Irish song to everyone with the bagpiper.
so how did the actors deal with this strange occasion?
And everybody started singing with him.
This set was a definite party. And not just for birthdays. The now 70-year-old actor Bill Murray was hesitant about diving back into the franchise he first starred in decades ago, but after reading the script, he knew it was worth being a part of because of just how much heart and emotion there was in the story. His concern was fair considering just how hard the filming wound up being on him, with all the physical action and wild filming conditions like wind and dirt. This special project has been kept quite secretive from the very start. When Finn Wolfhard first auditioned, he had no idea he was reading for none other than Ghostbusters Afterlife.
It came through as like untitled Sony project.
Since the actor had already experienced being a Ghostbuster in Stranger Things, he worried he wouldn't end up getting the role, but much to everyone's delight, the job was his. Nostalgia, a stellar cast, and Ghostbusters? We couldn't ask for a more exciting lineup. Which special retro gadget would you want to have?